YouTube does not care. I'm going to say that again, clearly. YouTube does not care about creators. And that's fine. That's good. And I'll show you why. Here, on the Gamer's Guide to YouTube. Welcome to the party. My name is Commander Tom, host of the Home for the NewTuber Internship. And today I want to clarify to you what YouTube's focuses are here on the platform, what they want, and what we need to do to succeed. Let's go to the board, and I'll show you what I mean. Welcome to YouTube. And the first lesson that many people need to learn is that YouTube is a business. And business needs to make money. I'm quite aware that there are many people who want to debate that fact already, and you're welcome to have that conversation. I'm not going to cover it though. Not the focus of my niche. I have no issues with the conversation. Feel free to have that elsewhere. The thing you've got to keep in mind is that it's nothing personal, it's just business. So the question we need to think about then is, how does YouTube make money? Well, let's ask the first obvious question here. How much do creators pay YouTube? Now let's think about this. What does YouTube provide creators? Well, the channel is essentially a website. So for comparison, check out what web hosting costs at Squarespace and other locations. Additionally, keep in mind that YouTube is basically video cloud storage. They're saving copies of our videos on their servers. Price what Dropbox and such would cost for equivalent gigabytes worth of storage. Beyond that, also keep in mind that YouTube promotes our videos through search, recommendation, as well as it has its own employees, facilities, utilities, etc. It has costs, okay? So how much do creators pay YouTube? Nothing. And that's a fact that YouTube will sometimes like to point up when the concept of money comes into the conversation. Just keep that in mind now at the beginning of your YouTube internship. So who pays? Where does YouTube get its money? Well, that would be from brands, from corporations, largely the advertising budgets of the major business names that you hear of every day. So if corporations are paying, what is YouTube selling? Well, this is where I'm going to go ahead and, for those of you familiar with 1984, give you a slight trigger warning. Andrew Lewis back in 2020 noted that if you're not paying for the product, then you're the product. He was speaking of all social media in general, but it especially applies to YouTube. You see, when we're at home relaxing, watching YouTube, YouTube is taking notes. They develop the user profiles, and they are noting when we log on, what videos we watch, what videos we skip, what ads we watch and skip, and much, much, much more than could ever go into any reasonable video. Basically, if it moves, YouTube tracks it. YouTube is watching you watch YouTube. Getting a little meta right there. So let's talk about how this works. Basically, YouTube and brands play a big old game of let's make a deal. And the deal essentially goes that brands say that they will pay YouTube for ads. And they want those ads to go to specific profiles. And the hope is that those profiles, the viewers, you and me as viewers, will eventually go back to the brand and buy stuff. Basically then completing the cycle, hoping to continue it again. So where does the creator fit in all of this? That's the important thing that I want to focus on today, because understanding this is a major key to understanding a way of growing on YouTube and finding success. Let's talk about their deal in a little bit more detail. Corporations want X number of views, and they want fill-in-the-blank profiles of individuals with fill-in-the-blank interests. These are all part of the negotiations that the brands come to YouTube saying that they want to pay these dollars for this exposure to these detailed profiles. And it gets far more detailed in here, but I'm not going to overload you with mundane details that you don't need to know. And all of this is in the goal so that they, as the brands, can eventually increase their sales. YouTube then, in order to meet the demand of what the corporations want, they want videos that will attract those profiles and keep viewers watching. They want them to watch longer. They want them to engage with the videos more because that extends longer view time. And they are encouraging that through liking, they comment, through sharing. All of this activity creates more ad opportunities, which creates more ad space, which gets YouTube more money. Let's go ahead and have the conversation between YouTube and we, the creators. We come in and say, I can do that for you. YouTube says, prove it first. But if you can, I'll make it worth your while. And this is probably the simplest explanation you'll ever get of the YPP, the YouTube Partnership Program. So how do we prove it to YouTube? How do we prove that the videos they need are the videos we create? Well, let's take a look at the comparisons of what YouTube wants versus what we create, what we need to create as creators. YouTube wants videos, so we need to create videos that answer viewer interests. We need to attract the profiles that YouTube is getting the advertising dollars for. So we need to have a focused niche. That way we know that we are attracting a specific niche that will encourage a returning viewer over and over because we make the content that they want, and YouTube will know what type of content we create for that. We need to have viewers watching the views longer, so that means we need to have a good watch time. YouTube wants our viewers engaging more, so we engage the viewers. When they like and comment, we reply to the comments. We make it personal. We interact. When they're sharing the videos, we are just generally becoming part of the community. When you're out and about, you're not always just posting videos. You're genuinely adding value to your environment. And if we can do all of these things, that shows that we are creating the quality video YouTube needs to do their jobs. And then when YouTube gets the ad revenue money, they'll tell us, good job, kid, and kick a little bit our way. And if you think I'm kidding about the pocket change, you are sorely mistaken. But that's just the beginnings. And this is just the essentials list that I want you to have an idea of what the proper relationship is between a creator and YouTube. The reason this is important is because this helps new creators especially focus their attention on what's really important, making better videos. One of the most common excuses a YouTuber will have is that YouTube hates me. YouTube doesn't like me. YouTube never pushes out my videos. No. Okay. Every creator starts at zero. No creator starts the platform knowing what to do. But how fast you take a look at the homework, how fast you learn your craft, and how fast you can improve your content to a level that makes YouTube satisfied with you, well, that's individual. That is all determined by how much you want to put into it. And that's part of what I'm trying to help inspire and maintain here with the YouTuber internship, is to develop a study, dedication, and focus to putting in the grind. Winners put in the grind and losers are left behind. But basically what we need to do is focus on learning the key elements, putting in the reps, putting in the time, and getting our quality up to a point that the channel starts to build momentum. We start to build an audience. And good things happen as we start turning those corners. If this makes sense to you, and starting your YouTuber internship is something you want to continue on, leave a like and subscribe, and go ahead and click on your next class. I'm Commander Tom. I will see you next time. Thanks.